micro tears in our muscles, all right? So what we need to do after we train is we need to repair those muscles as soon as possible. So typically getting something with high protein in is going to really help with that, okay? We can mix that with carbohydrates, again, especially if our goals are that muscle building and growing, okay? So a good protein carb snack post-workout is going to be very beneficial, all right? If we're more looking at weight loss, okay, more than happy for you to just go a high protein thing after, so it might be protein powder in water, all right? Now, every meal should contain some protein. It's going to keep you fuller for longer. It supports our metabolism. And consuming protein, like I just said, 30 to 60 minutes post-workout will optimize your recovery. It's that anabolic window. However, don't stress about this. If you're like, oh, I can't eat 30 minutes after, oh my God, I missed the window, I'm just not going to eat. No, still get something in, okay, it is fine. What I really want you to understand from that point is that there's this myth floating around, I've heard it, that like delaying eating after training by 2 to 3 hours or something speeds up fat loss or something like that, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but I typically get asked that question and like, no, that's not the case. We do want to get some food in, okay, that's actually going to benefit you more, but I don't want you to stress, like if you miss that window, it's okay, just eat when you can get to it, all right? But maybe this means that, oh, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more conscious to make sure I bring my protein shake with me to the gym so I can just drink it on the way home or things like that, okay? Just being a little bit more prepared. Yeah? Alrighty, so protein also can really help with our weight loss, all right? So again, it helps us stay fuller for longer, okay? So it's going to help with weight loss. It also really helps with body composition, again, helping with our muscles and things like that, okay? So growing those muscles, maintaining those muscles, and then decreasing that body fat, okay? Protein is a big, big contributor to those things, right? How much should you be having? Well, again, very individual, but we typically range from 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight all the way up to 2.2, okay? Now, me as a nutritionist and nearly everyone I've ever worked with, I've never ever gone below 1.6 grams, okay? And I do work with people who exercise, so typically actually around 2 grams per kilogram of body weight is where I would start someone at, okay? So for a 60 kilo person, it's 120 grams of protein a day. Sorry?
It's like 140.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus.
That's why these.
But
And
even
it
with
can be a
these, I don't make it.
Because your weight.
I have to like,
eat more than 250.
yeah, something like that, 250.
So if that so
200.
if that 2 grams to 2.2 or whatnot is really like, you're like, oh my God, then another thing where you can start is how tall you are in centimeters. So for me, like that would be a lot for me, but you know, I'm 165 centimeters tall, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to aim for 165 grams of protein. That might be
Still
your
too
goal.
Still 200.
How many? How much would that be? 200 grams.
200.
Honestly, that's actually could be what you need.
Okay.
It feels like a lot. And now, don't just go straight to 200.
No.
Try and work up to that. But there is ways to do it. You know, obviously you're gonna have to just really pay attention to what you're getting in. But if you do you eat meat? Yeah. So if you're eating meat in every meal, it is quite achievable. Maybe you're just increasing your portions of your meat in every meal. But start lower. Start at 150. See how you go, and then slowly build that up. And you might find, no, I'm stopping at 160. You know, I feel the best there. Because we can start, if we go too much protein, everyone's a little bit different, but if you go too much protein, you might find maybe you start to get a bit constipated, or your stomach feels a little bit off. Yeah, so if that's happening, then it's like, all right, maybe I'll just pull my protein back a little bit, see how my body responds, things like that, okay? But I've had people on, 200 to 250 grams of protein before. I mean, given, yes, they eat a lot of calories though, so it's a bit different, but it's a lot, but it can happen. But don't start with that.
No.
Okay.
You might die.
I'll have a look.
Yeah. Or start with the 1.6, as a minimum, and see how that goes, where that takes you to.
180 or something.
180. 180.
180, that feels pretty achievable. It's still a lot, and still, start. You could start by just adding up what you currently eat and see where you're at. You might surprise yourself, you know, and then see how that goes. All right, any questions there with that?
Yes, 2.2 is better for muscle gain and fat loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's like eat more protein no matter what your goals are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm sitting at about like between 1.8 to 2 already. So
Oh yeah.
just over. And
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
So what's your goals at the moment?
Muscle gain.
Muscle gain. Yeah. So
Vegetarian,
if you're so if you're, which is fine, but you could up that, but also look at your carbs. This is probably already really high, but
Not really.
increase your carbs.
Increase the carbs.
Yeah. So increase your protein and your carbs if muscle gain is
So
your.
I'm doing like egg white omelets and I mean that helps. Protein bars
Yeah.
and protein shakes to kind of like give it a boost.
Yeah.
But I have not like I've been having carbs, but I wouldn't be more than 100 grams a day.
Oh yeah. Up that. If muscle gain,
Oh, potato.
like I think a lot of the time we get really caught up on I want to lose weight, but I want to build muscle. They're actually two kind of different things. If we're genuinely trying to build muscle, we need to be in a surplus. We need to be feeding our body food, right? Typically, what comes with that is we shred body fat from that because we're just eating a bit better. So maybe if shredding some body fat is your goal, it'll probably happen. A lot of the time too, we mistake, you see people lose weight and they're like, I built this muscle, but you might not have built any muscle.
No,
You've just
seen
actually
it,
lost some
yeah.
body weight,
Yeah.
body fat, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like, it can get confused, those terms.
Yeah.
But if you're genuinely wanting to build your muscle content, like build your muscle, then we need to increase those carbohydrates as well.
Can I
Yeah.
do both?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that you probably will. You still can
Yeah.
build a bit of muscle
Yeah.
if you're eating enough
Oh,
and shred that body fat. It is possible, but it's like you still have to be eating enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you feel like you've kind of hit this bit of a wall and you're like, I'm not really seeing the results I want.
Yeah, I got down to like 12%. I've just kind of been like
Yeah,
floating there for
Yeah.
a while.
yeah. Just play with it. Like, what's the harm in it? You know, up the carbs a little bit. See how you go, and the protein up in both. See how you go. See how you feel. How's your body responding? And you can keep. The beauty with nutrition is you can just keep playing with it.
Yeah.
You'll be like, cool, I did that, didn't like it, going back to this. Or, okay, did that, alright, I'm going to try this now, you know?
I'm more like, did that, put on 10 kilos.
Yeah. Oopsie! That didn't work.
But what's your body composition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all triceps.
It's all shoulders.
Cool, okay, so fats, we've forgotten about macro. Alright, very important, okay, as we said before, important for our hormones, maintaining, it does contribute to energy as well, okay, so carbohydrates, yes, are our main source of energy, of fuel, and typically in our CrossFit workouts, most of it's going to be happening, okay. Anything, longer duration, anyone here, I don't know, run a marathon or go for anything longer than an hour, and if you're not topping up your carb sources, your fats are probably going to be kicking in, okay, and being utilised for energy as well, okay? They protect our organs, hormones, they also are really good for inflammation, okay, mood, brain fog, clarity, things like that, okay? So maybe you're thinking, God, I'm a bit irritable lately, or just, this and that, or I feel a bit inflamed, my joints hurt, like, God, my joints hurt, like this. Like, assess your fats, like, we typically don't really track them, we forget about them a little bit. Can't cook with oil because that's bad. It's like, put some olive oil in your dishes and things like that and see how you go. Yeah, so good.
No problem.
And it is good for you,
neither.
okay? It's good for your joints, it's good for your health, it's good for everything, alright? But like we said before, they contribute a little bit more energy, so a little bit more calories per gram. Okay, so we don't need as much. Yeah, so typically your fats would be around that 1 gram per kilogram of body weight to begin with, if you've never tracked them before, and then you can play with it from there, okay? So, for example, 60 kilo person, that would be 60 grams a day, which, to be honest, like if that was for me, I know my body, and that's way too low for me, okay? My fats go all the way up to like 120, 130 sometimes, if I'm really, really focusing on some high fats here and there, but that's just, I know my body, you know, so it can need more, and that's okay. Yeah? Cool. Alright, so, oh yeah, how much are we having? Blah, 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 did that. We've got our good and our bad fats, okay, unsaturated and saturated. Alright, so unsaturated, we've got like the olive oil and the avocado and, you know, fatty fish, salmon, things like that, okay? Obviously, you know, if we're having fats with every meal, we want to be trying to focus on those ones. But there's nothing wrong with having some saturated fats, okay? I don't want you to like avoid it, like it's the end of the world. I have a bit of bacon pretty much every single morning, alright? But I'm not having bacon for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and in my snacks, okay? So I'm balancing it out. I have a bit of bacon for breakfast, and I have some avocado with my lunch, you know, cooking olive oil, things like that, okay? So we're just balancing it out, yeah? Cool. Alrighty, quick question. Juice and Powerade, what macro is most dominant in that? Carbs. Nice, when would you have it? Before a workout, nice. What about banana and honey? Carbs.
Pre-workout.
Pre-workout, nice. Salmon, eggs and avocado on toast, what's dominant?
Fat.
Fats.
Protein.
And protein, yeah, but yeah,
Mostly fat.
mostly fat. When would it be a good time for that?
Lunch.
After a workout.
Yep. So after workout, yes. Maybe more like after workout would be good because there's protein. So in like a main meal. So maybe that was your breakfast after you trained. Yeah. So fats don't really directly help you with the training right then and there. So I wouldn't say have fats in a pre-workout or anything like that. It's typically going to be better in your main meals.
And they take longer to digest.
They slow everything.
Yeah, they
The
slow
absorption
everything
down.
kind of down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's why like pretty much everything in those pre-workout snacks, or even in your booklet, if you look at the pre-workout snack, pretty much next to nothing will have fats in it. Or if it does, it's very, very little amount, you know. Cereal, what's in that?
Sugar.
Carbs, nice. When could you have that?
All day.
All day. That could be before a workout. That might be, you know, an hour to an hour and a half before a workout if you really wanted to let that digest. But cereal can be a good pre-workout snack. Steak.
Protein.
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 Post, yeah.
Toast.
Or main meals.
Main meals,
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Yeah.
Put
I mean,
the
it's
steak
like
on your bag.
so I'm not sure who, you know, finishes workout and whips out a steak. But anything's possible.
I'll both women rules.
There's steak to go.
Steak over next class.
Oh, that would actually be delicious. But yeah. So post workout, probably the best protein source you're gonna get is a like protein powder. It's just most bioavailable. Like your body's gonna use it, but like can digest it and use it quite quickly. However, if you did train and you were heading home within the hour to cook breakfast, like you could have a steak for brekkie. There's honestly, that's great. Like I have steak for brekkie all the time. I do. It's like, you could be too now. Increase that protein. Yeah.
Try and get
Steak
lean
and
and
eggs.
stuff. Are they okay?
Yeah.
I find it's
Some
good,
lean meats.
palatable.
Yeah, I think that's like a bit of a, like, with our meals, say for example breakfast, we're always stuck in this, well if it's not cereal or eggs, so then it's not breakfast, right? It's like, you can have, or people tell me I'm not a breakfast person, it's nothing, I don't really like breakfast food. I'm like, well, don't eat breakfast food then.
What about
Have
spaghetti
pasta for breakfast.
bolognese?
Yeah, you can have anything.
With fried with eggs
Yeah.
on top.
One of my favourite breakfast options is honestly steak, eggs, and some berries. So good. So good. Lots of protein. Okay, supplements.
Oh, yeah.
I call supplements our 1%ers, okay? We can't out-supplement a bad diet. And that's, you know, if you want to be super accurate, it's like, what supplements do I need? You know, what vitamins, what this, what's that? Okay, go get blood tests done, and that will tell you if you're deficient in anything. For the most part, maybe you're not deficient in things, and that's okay. There is really no harm to, I don't know, if you're playing around with some supplements, whether you're probably just going to pee it out if your body's not using it. Okay, so it's kind of just a waste of money anyways. So I'm not going to go and tell you to get all these supplements and vitamins and things like that. However, when it comes to sports performance, there are some general supplements that can have benefits. So if you are looking at, you know, that side of things and training and all of that, so obviously protein powder, we've spoken about that, okay? So you can grab a protein powder if you like it. It's not a must, you don't have to have it, but it's easy. You can pop it in smoothies, you can cook with it, you can drink it by itself, you know, with water, things like that, okay? My go-to brands typically, because I get asked this question a lot, would be like True Protein is pretty reliable, Bulk Nutrients is pretty affordable and good quality. They have a good like natural like kind of one if you really want good quality protein. If you're looking for a plant-based, Fiber Performance is a good one, like PHYBA, Fiber Performance. They're kind of my go-to ones.
Does the quality of your protein powder matter?
Yeah,
Or
like
is-
I said, if we can, it's one of those things where I'm like, if it's a hard chore and stresses you out already, just getting a protein powder in is going to be beneficial. Depend if you need a high protein diet. But yes, quality can be important. So honestly, most protein powders these days are pretty good.
I'm getting mine from the Coles.
Just
house
yeah.
rent.
Just Coles house rent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I actually don't even know what's in that or what type of protein and stuff. You just want to getting a good whey protein is
Yes.
going to be best. So WPI
It's a whey,
or
it's a whey.
WPC. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So it probably is fine.
Yeah.
What you can do is look at the back of it. Okay, is there a million other like fillers and ingredients and things like that? Maybe that's an indication that okay, maybe that's not the best one. Because some proteins, you can get fully like grass-fed protein, and it has like 4 ingredients or 2 ingredients in it. It's a really good quality. I think it's a WA brand. It's literally called Mirrabooka.
Yeah, I've
you
seen
seen
that.
that?
That's
Yeah.
like an organic, because they got all the milks from sort of organic
Yeah.
dairy. And
Yeah.
That's the thing is that the whey is byproduct through the dairy
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
So if you're getting it from fairly large industrialised dairies, there's implications of that.
Yeah, so that one's like great quality, but you're gonna be paying a lot more for it.
Yeah.
So it depends. Like, if you can afford it, definitely go the really good quality one. Otherwise going for those ones that are pretty good, like good quality, like True Protein, Bulk Nutrients, things like that. They're pretty good. And like I said, Bulk Nutrients have a fairly affordable, really good natural, like grass-fed one as well, actually. So that's a good quality one to go for.
Yeah.
Cool. Creatine. Anyone here take creatine?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
Some, no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every
Every
day.
day.
It's
Every day? Good, good. Creatine is the most researched, safest supplement on the market at the moment, alright, and it is